As soon as the first snow falls, the red deer move from the mountains down to the valleys. Their survival strategy? Save energy. To protect themselves from the cold, they grow a warm topcoat of long fur. They also reduce their body temperature, shrink their digestive organs, lower their pulse, and stand still a lot of the time. Their lives depend on them staying quiet. Every time they have to gear up their cooled down bodies, to flee for instance, a stag can use up so much energy that it's no longer able to survive through until the end of the winter. Weaker animals haven't a chance of survival, but their death provides a source of food for others. There are around 200 lynxes in Switzerland, the result of a successful reintroduction program. This lynx seems to be an accomplished hunter. It's apparently so full that it's going to freeze the rest of the carcass for later. This herd of deer is lucky. They've found a south-facing slope where they don't need to dig around much for their food. These deer will stay here all winter. A 150 years ago, the red deer was extinct in Switzerland. Today, there are around 35,000 of them here. The first to return were fugitives from stag hunts in Austria. Some forests in this region are rather special. They're Swiss stone pine forests and very rare. Only 1/100th of the forested land in Graubünden consists of stone or Arolla pines. Here they're known as Queen of the Alps. The Swiss author Alois Schniedrich wrote, "The stone pine forest is the adornment of the mountains, whose bald skull it decorates with incense-perfumed curls." The stone pine is an astonishing tree. Alone among trees, it can brave temperatures of -45 degrees centigrade and flourishes in an area in which winter rules for most of the year. The stone pine's life happens in slow motion. It doesn't bear a single pine cone before it's 40 years old. Then, when they appear, they take 3 years to ripen, and the stone pine can live for over 1,000 years. To the people here, this forest is almost holy. The God Tamangur, or Forest Over There, lies in the far east of Graubünden, just a stone's throw from the Italian border. It's a symbol of tenacity, strength, and the will to survive. The Rhaetians also lay claim to these characteristics. For centuries, people mined silver and lead in the area. The mines and the smelting of the ore consumed vast quantities of wood. But this special forest survived this era undamaged. And today, no one may touch it. The God Tamangur, one of the world's highest stone pine forests, is a forbidden zone for axes or saws. Because they grow so slowly, the trees have wafer-thin annual growth rings. The age-old wood is therefore very fine-grained and highly prized. And it smells better than almost any other wood too. But it won't come from here. It's more than 50 years since a pine tree was felled in the god Tamangur. Stone pine forests are profoundly peaceful places, but they would never even exist were it not for a manically active creature. The spotted nutcracker. It's obsessed with stone pine nuts to the exclusion of almost anything else. It can eat so many that it was feared for a long time that the trees would be forced into extinction. But precisely the opposite proved to be true. And that's because this bird has an ability that is unique in the animal world. The story of the spotted nutcracker and the stone pine forest begins in summer. The spotted nutcracker is a hard worker. During the summer months, it gathers around 100,000 stone pine nuts, transporting the pine cones to one special spot to hack them out of the cones. Like Scrooge McDuck with his money, the spotted nutcracker thinks only about its pine nuts. It's a wonder that it can find any time at all for life's trivia, like eating or breeding. The spotted nutcracker sets up around 10,000 stashes of nuts and will find almost all of them again in winter. A few of its stores do go undiscovered, however, and those nuts germinate the following spring. The saplings protect each other against chill winds, excess rain, or from being eaten. With any luck, one of them will grow to be a proud, 1,000-year-old stone pine tree. If the spotted nutcracker didn't exist, these seeds wouldn't get taken up the mountain. The stone pine would only germinate down the valleys where they cannot thrive. Without the birds, these trees would long have vanished from the earth, including the magical forest of god Tamangur. Below the forest, the river Klemgia winds through the valley. The water ousel seems to be the only creature here that isn't hibernating. But it's living proof that the river itself is actually brimming with life. It's constantly diving to take its prey, especially insect larvae, and it's a very successful hunter. Not many know the water ousel, although it's very widespread. Once noticed, they seem to turn up everywhere. As the vegetation indicates, conditions are much harsher in the higher mountains.